Hi, I'm Commander Bryant. That's JASONBRYANT. I'm the commander for the Downtown Austin Command. We're going to be conducting an active shooter training in downtown this evening between 5 p.m. and midnight. This is not in response to any specific threat. Active shooter events happen in a variety of environments, therefore we train in a variety of environments. In the past, we've trained in industrial sites, malls, military bases, schools, theaters, and tonight we decided we're going to conduct our training in the downtown environment. This training will focus on our local entertainment district, and it's being coordinated with AFD and EMS as well. Do you have any questions about the training?
Sure. What kind of things are you guys training on specifically? What are you trying to help officers improve on or train on through this training?
So we study previous active shooter events, and we utilize the information we glean from those, and then we try and reproduce those so that the officers are responding to very realistic active shooter events, so they have a really good grasp of what responding to an event like that would be like, and then they're prepared for it.
Was it scheduled recently?
No, this is a long-term scheduling process, so it's been in the planning stages for several months.
And you mentioned the various locations that you do it at. Why downtown specifically?
Just because these events happen in multiple different environments. We've seen them in places of government, places of business, schools, places of worship. So we need to train in those exact same environments that they're occurring in.
So when I think active shooter, a lot of times I think SWAT, but it sounds like a lot of people will be involved in this. I mean, tell me what kind of departments are going to be involved. I understand it's more than just APD, but I guess tell me, at least within APD, how many different kinds of departments are training on this today?
Okay, so that's a good question. We have a counter-assault strike team, which is called our CAS team, which is designed specifically to counter the threat of active shooters. That consists of patrol officers who are trained to counter this threat, and they are carrying equipment, and they're in patrol cars already deployed throughout the city 24 hours a day. So the idea is that if there were to be an active shooter event, we can have an immediate response and not rely on a callback status, which the SWAT team has a callback status. The CAS team is constantly on duty 24 hours a day, every day of the year.
It sounds like this is a pretty big undertaking. How many officers are taking part of this training?
So the goal is to train all the officers in downtown. So we have a large command for downtown. And the goal is to train every one of the patrol officers. And we move this around the city, and then the next training could be in a different part of town and train those officers to respond to their area.
So that large chunk of time, does that mean the different officers will kind of be rotated in to get their portion of the training, so to speak?
That's correct. It's a really good question. So yes, what we do is we cycle officers through the training. So that's why it takes such a long period of time, is we have the same trainers, and then we just cycle officers through so that all the officers can receive the training, but then not diminish the coverage through downtown.
I think it said in the press release that the 600 block of Neches was going to be blocked off. Are you guys going to be pretty much confined to that block?
That's great. So that's our staging areas where we're going to have equipment. Like I said earlier, we're working in conjunction with EMS and AFD. So they may bring some fire trucks or ambulances, so we just need an area to stage all of our equipment.
And can you walk us through the scenario a little bit? Maybe without divulging too many details, what in a nutshell are you guys going to be pretending is happening tonight?
So we just have our officers respond to a situation in which is similar to an active shooter, right? So then that they learn how to respond to that. We do the same thing in the academy for criminal law role play, and we have actors pretend that they're on a call and the officers respond. Same thing for traffic role play. We have actors pretend like they're being pulled over, and then the officers can have a training rep pulling somebody over. Very similar.
Last question.
Any message for bystanders or folks that might be downtown tonight? Do they just go on about their business, or are they a part of the process?
No, so we'll have the area clearly marked off. We'll, with our crime scene tape and barricades, letting people know that we're running a training exercise. Just that there's no specific threat. And this isn't a response to any specific threat. This is us just continuing on with our training cycle. And as we move around the city doing trainings, this just happens to be the one downtown.
But is dealing with those crowds, is that sort of part of the process?
The crowd is absolutely not part of the scenario.
Okay.
So we'll have no interaction with the public.
you.
All right,
Thank you
thanks.
so much.
Thanks.